especially when introducing each speaker and point holders. Now, how many of you here know what is the purpose of a Toastmasters meeting? Not many of you. How many of you know what makes a Toastmasters meeting? Okay, one person. What is it? Good food. Nonsense. Now, a Toastmasters meeting exists because it is here to educate, to enlighten, and of course, to entertain us at the same time. And as a general evaluator, it is my role here today to look at the entire meeting from a bird's eye view and then try to see at areas where we can improve, the areas where all of you did great, and of course, areas that need a lot of improvements and attention. Now, the first one is members' interaction between the speakers and the audience. Now, I really love our Sergeant-at-Arms who came up here earlier, and when she began the meeting, she began with a very, very morbid question. What if today is your last day? Now, it was quite good because it allowed us to think about this particular issue and go deep into what actually motivates us as a speaker. And of course, as Toastmasters, we have a chance to try out a very short table topic session in the introduction. So I think our Sergeant-at-Arms deserves a round of applause. Thank you. And of course, when we had the meeting, the table topics, prepared session, and of course, prepared speeches, and of course, our evaluation session. Now, many of you would have realized that as a speaker stands up here, there will be a lot of clapping, applause. Then, of course, sometimes during a speaker's presentation, there will be people cheering on, the speaker as he or she moves on. And I think we should this particular person deserves our applause because as each speaker came up here, when he or she was being introduced, she kept screaming and shrieking. And when a speaker happened to be up here speaking, she was screaming like a dead chicken. That was good, Davina, because when you did that, you were encouraging the speaker. And the thing as a speaker, when we are up here delivering a speech, it's very nice, for us to be encouraged on, and of course, to be encouraged to go on in our presentation, especially when we forget something, there's always someone down there supporting you all the way. So thank you, Davina, and thank you, everyone. Now, the most important thing that I thought that I should bring up today is our grade program. Because if you were to look at your program sheet, can just someone give me a program sheet? Thank you so much. Now, Toastmasters meeting is not only for us to listen to the prepared speeches, but to also listen to impromptu speeches and, of course, some evaluations for the prepared speakers. If you were to look at this program, you can see that about 30 minutes was allocated to table topics, which I thought was good because we had more than 12 speakers coming up here to deliver on a range of table topics. Talking about table topics, I would definitely highly recommend our table topics master. All the topics here were top. They were absolutely wonderful. And in fact, when your speakers came up here, Table Topics Master, they had very interesting responses to some of your questions over here. We had a speaker who spoke about living up to 100 years old and how he would love to be serviced at the age of 100. I think it was quite good. I'll meet the speaker again. Oh, Nelson, he left, is it?
Yeah, he left.
Oh, he left. Too bad. And then, of course, we have fantastic speakers like Magnus who came up here and spoke about something which was thought-provoking in my view, when he spoke about love and what it actually means to him as a person. So you can see a range of topics over here, things which are not too hard, yet not too easy. And that is the essence of table topics, something that allows you to think at the spur of the moment and then deliver a speech impromptu, meaning without much preparation. And I think our table topics master deserves our round of applause also. So let's move on to the prepared speeches. When we attend Toastmasters meetings, we are spending 2 to 3 hours in a Toastmasters setting to not only listen to a speaker or a set of speakers, but we are here to learn from their experiences and of course what they have to offer to us as a speaker. And I think all 5 speakers in today's meeting did a fantastic job because it is not easy to present a speech, especially when you're up here. You might forget your information, you might forget some of the things that you have prepared earlier on, but all of you delivered a fantastic range of speeches. And our speaker over here, could you just please stand up?
Yes, sure.
Now, I thought he was good. He was a good example as a speaker because sometimes as a presenter, we may forget things. But I definitely highly salute you because as a speaker, you forgot some of the lines, but you still stayed here right to the very end and you concluded impressively. Round of applause. And of course, we have very interesting speakers also who spoke about things which were very, very suggestive. Cassandra, I never knew that you, of all persons, you look like a geek, but you could talk about bananas. My God. Thank God that Shalaf wasn't here today. Cassandra, I love the way you chose your words, and I think your evaluator did you justice when he evaluated, when he or she. When he evaluated you earlier, it was equally humorous, and of course, right on the dot as an evaluator. I think both evaluator and speaker deserves our round of applause. Of course, the last speaker that truly, the message that really stuck to my mind was our last speaker, our second last speaker. When our second last speaker, Benjamin, stood up here, he didn't use much body language, he didn't use big gestures. In fact, he attracted us to the value of his thoughts, and of course, what his speech actually means to him as a speaker, and of course, what it means to all of us. And you spoke about something which was equally thought-provoking, beauty. And you were talking about plastic surgery, so on and so forth. But the most prominent moment in your speech, Benjamin, was when you paused in the middle part of the speech, and then you said, I have severe emotional issues too, that I feel insecure. And as you said, I feel insecure looking at tall, hunky guys. You look at Magnus in the eye, and the roar, you see the intensity of it. But Benjamin, can I ask you something? Did you ask my permission before looking at Magnus? Benjamin, you will get it later. Now the last part that I would like to talk about is the protocol. Because I think this is something that all Toastmasters should be aware of. When we go to a Toastmasters meeting, as a speaker, we expect to be introduced appropriately before our presentation so that our audience members would know what we are talking about, why we are qualified to deliver that particular speech, and of course, why and who that person is. Toastmaster, this is where my evaluation of your part comes in. You are in for a big meeting. Now, as the Toastmaster of the day, you are the host of today's meeting. Your role in today's meeting is to provide a good opening to the Toastmasters chapter meeting, provide us into the body of the chapter meeting, which is all the speeches, table topics, and evaluations, and then conclude by saying or summarizing everything that the speaker or prominent holders did. Now, what I thought you could have done better is this. When you're introducing a speaker, you must, number one, remember his or her name, his or her qualifications, and more importantly, what he or she is supposed to say, which I thought wasn't exactly well done when you were introducing the speakers. Only a few came to mind when you were introducing Davina and Benjamin for their respective speeches and evaluations. Now, this is a sample introduction that you may want to use in your future introductions. And of course, all of you who would like to be Toastmaster of the Day can use the same sample introduction. You could begin by saying, for example, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered what makes a great relationship? Pause. Today, we have a highly sought after love guru who will tell us exactly how to capture the heart of that one man that you love. Our speaker for today is a dashing and dynamic young lady, and she has managed to capture the heart of a hot and hunky and handsome guy, Magnus. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together to welcome this dynamic lady, Toastmaster Davina. Now that's how an introduction should be done. You see, when you see this particular introduction, you can see that there's something that the speaker needs to talk about. There's a title of the speech, the Love Guru, and of course, who the speaker is and her qualifications. In Toastmasters, we call this the POETS format. The project, the objectives, the project, the objectives, and then the evaluator, the timing, and then the time, and then the speaker. This is simply a variation of it. Talking about the time, I would have loved if you had introduced each speaker by first asking the evaluator to rise up, introduce the speech objectives, and then ask him or her to deliver the timer, and then you begin by telling us the title of the speech and of course the speaker. That way you will leave the speaker right at the very end so that our interest would be sustained when you're introducing her. Now, all in all, I thought today was a fantastic meeting. I truly enjoyed all the speakers and evaluators. I think all of you deserves a big round of applause.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your general evaluation.
No, because Saddiq text me now, right?
Saddiq.
He needs evaluation,
Okay, now we have the... Okay, I think our president would like to say to. Okay. So let's have the